Three.
Hola, welcome to Key's Garden Cafe, where all things are as smooth as butter as it relates to inspiration and growing plants that heal the mind, body, and soul, and interior decorating as well as exterior decorating. All of these things combine well together to give you the environment that evokes happiness and peace and tranquility inside of you. So, this is where I come in at as someone that believes in self expression when it comes to all things art. May it be coloring, may it be singing, may it be dancing, may it be painting, gardening, feeding birds, whatever. Creativity, as we know, is endless. So, I want to continue to explore these things with you. So, one of the things that I would like to share with you is just a few things around my home, and then maybe we could take a trip to the park and we can find inspiration from the park, uh, flowers and different things like that, plants and different things like that. So I have a little um, poem. It's very short, and I really appreciate this poem, and I'll tell you why after I read it. So it says, now and then a wearied king or a tormented slave found out where the true kingdoms of the world were and possessed himself in a furrow or two of garden ground of a truly infinite dominion. And this supposedly was written by John Ruskin in 1856. And I really appreciate this poem because it helps to see kings and slaves alike, all the way back then, appreciated the healing mentally and physically that came from gardening. And I do too, and I'm sure that you do as well. So, right now, I am sitting upon a petunia that I planted, and this, of course, is a common plant, but I appreciate how you can find a place for your plant and it actually thrives there. Because, as we know as gardeners, sometimes you can plant a plant and put it in a location and it not do so well, which I often have those experiences because I have a few plants and flowers. So this has a really beautiful fragrant smell, and I have it right by the door going in and out of the home, which gives you so much joy and so much fulfillment being able to smell the different fragrances that comes from creation, that comes from God's creation, that's free, and it smells so wonderful. And then we have right here, I forget the name of it, but when I went to the store and got it several weeks ago, and it's doing really well. I This was the only one that they had there, so I felt like it was for me. It's very unique and very different. I think it's in the daisy family. I forgot, but I never saw, the leg type plants that stand up to let you know I'm here. It's alive, and I look forward to repotting this so that it can get bigger and bigger, and it also self seeds, so I look forward to seeing where other of these plants will pop up at. And if you look behind me, I planted these Rose of Sharon here. When I planted them some years ago, they were like this small. And I know a lot of people don't like Rose of Sharon because they're they take over, they spread very rapidly. but I don't mind the hard work of getting out here and constantly pulling them up. So I did plant them around the house so that the flowers, when they bloom on the trees, it's very beautiful. It gives you that, it makes you feel that protection, that enclosure around your home, like the plants are just hugging you, like the Rose of Sharon are hugging you. And they also are pollinated by the hummingbirds and the bees and things like that. So I love that. And I will tell you a tip of how you can prevent so many different weeds and so many different Rose of Sharon trees popping up all over the place, taking over your garden. All you have to do is continue to put compost, just compost, constantly compost. And the compost, it weeds out more of the things you don't want and keeps the things that you do want. So there you have it. So I don't have a problem with that, and that's it. And so I have this plant right here. I forgot the name of it, but I have this planted and it's growing really well. It actually grows massively big. Last year I had one similar, but it was yellow, and I had it in a much bigger pot, a pot that's over here, but this year I have it here. But when it gets really big, I'm going to break off some of it and I'm going to place it in another pot, because this grows really, really, really well. And I know, as dainty as this might look, it may look like it's sensitive, but I guarantee you, if you have an awning and you have it on your porch, it lasts all the way up until frost, and even past that, before it starts showing real signs that it's going to die. So I really love this because of it, and I went and I got more for this year, so that, because it's annual, of course, but I want to learn how to propagate this as well. I don't know how to propagate this particular plant, or get the seeds from this plant, if it does have the seeds. So if you know where the seeds is on this plant, or how to propagate this plant, please tell me, because I would like to not have to every year go to a store or a nursery to try to find this plant, especially because this particular color, I did not see this color last year at all. So when I saw this specific color this year, I said, oh, I have to have it. And there was not even many of this specific color. There was only a few. So it leads me to believe it could be very possible that I can go next year and this color is not here. So I don't want that to happen, because I love this. Tell me the name of this plant too. I'm not really that good of knowing the names of plants, which is something that I'm working on. So there's so many to show you. I won't show all of the plants today, because I would like to go to the park and explore the park and get some creative ideas. And I have my pen and my notebook that I am going to take notes. And as you see, this book, it says, keep on smiling. So we want to always smile, no matter what, from the inside out. Smiling from the inside out is going to ward off the things that we don't want. At least if they do come, they won't be permanent. So I love this book because it reminds me to keep on smiling. So let me take you really fast to, well, not so fast, so we can go slow. So as you see right here, I have these, I think they're called knockout roses. I'm not so sure. They're probably not. I could have it wrong. But you know what is the, I should say, even though I cannot remember the names of my plants, I really worked hard on these plants. So it doesn't even matter, because this Rose of Sharon was this small. And I think I got it from like a neighbor or something, and it was like growing in their backyard, and they didn't know, and they were like, you can have it. And I said, you don't have to tell me twice. And I went and got my shovel and I shoveled it up, and it was very difficult to grow, and I thought it had died, but it didn't. The bugs were eating it up really, really bad, and I had to work hard to keep it strong. And I planted it like maybe 3 years ago when it was like this small. And so the bugs, they were really trying to take over my plant, my rose bush, and I refused to give in to them and allow them to take over. So I fought back and I fought hard and I won. So as you can see, the rose bush is thriving. Yes, so I am so grateful. And I have another one. It hasn't bloomed yet, and it's over on the other side because I plan on trailing them going up. So again, it could be an enclosure and it could feel like the plants are hugging me and when I'm on the porch. So I love that so much. Um, so as I said, I'm not going to show all the plants because I want to get to the part. As you see, the sun is not shining today. It's gloomy, it's raining, but that's okay, because what do we make out of lemonade, or out of lemons? We make lemonade. What do we do with rain? We grow. So we need the rain. So I will never say I don't want it to rain today because I have this to do or I want to film. Nah, I will film in the rain because I'm grateful for the rain. Would you rather have a drought or moisture? You tell me. I know the answer to what I want. So I'll show you two more plants really fast. And I like this one even though it's typical. If you come over here, I forget what the name, I mean, these are like really typical plants. Do not like come for me when it comes to this. If you do, oh well, it doesn't matter because like I said, I worked really hard on these plants. So you know, the next phase is keeping up with the names of them. If I don't know everything all at once, I don't fret about that because I feel like it wastes time. So I put my eggs in one basket sometimes as it pertains to my objective is to get as many flowers where I want in an artistic fashion to where it's cohesive, it looks beautiful. And my style, I would say what comes natural to me is more so like bohemian, cottage. I can't think of the other wording right now, but I'll get back to you on that. So I like to decorate with my plants instead of just like having plants all over the place. I like it to be artsy in the way of, you know, where the location is. As you see right here, I painted this, even though this is dirty. I'll clean it off so you can see it better. But I painted this paint orange. I didn't spray paint it, I actually painted it. And if you need to get like discount on paint, if you want to paint, you can go to like Lowe's, and actually a friend told me this, and so I'm able to share it with you, that you can go and I guess like people will like order paint and then like not go get it. So you can just like randomly go or call and see if there is some paint on display. And if it's paint that people didn't pick up, they order but they didn't pick up, they discount it at a very, very low price. So that will give you an opportunity to be able to buy paints and get creative so that your home on the outside can be very colorful. You don't have to just depend on flowers for your color. You can depend on flowers, painting, spray painting, furniture, all different type of ways that you can make your garden and your home very beautiful. So as you see right here, this plant, I love it, the pop of color. Now, when I saw this in store by itself, I've actually grown this before in a big pot again, and it just went crazy. And this is another plant that self-seeds itself. So I love that about this plant, that like you can get so many seeds from it and just have more and more, and you don't have to buy anymore. So I love that. And I also dabble with wildflowers. I do more than dabble with wildflowers. Yesterday I had wildflowers all over the place. And it won't be any different this year. They're still coming up, so things are going to look even more, you know, developed as we get into the summer months. As you can see right here, I have wildflowers coming up. I'm going to pull this material up. I'm not going to leave this here. I just put this here because what I did last summer, if you look at this, what I did actually 2 summers ago, my son and I, we dug this up. My son, he actually did most of the work of digging this up. And what I did was I laid this down to prevent weeds from growing up. But I'm not too fond about this material. It was something that I've used in the past, but I'm slowly but surely going away from it because I just like more natural. You know, the more I can learn how to garden with all things natural, the better. Even though at the same time, I'm like, save the trees, you know, because I use cardboard. So it's like, you know, what do you do? So anyway, this is an idea that I did. So my point is in bringing this up, and I also have it on both sides of the steps, the porch. The purpose of this, me mentioning this, is because you don't have to feel the need to do everything all at once and then get overwhelmed and then you don't succeed at anything. So I knew that when we dug this up 2 years ago that I probably wasn't gonna get to put anything down. So what I continue to do, I continue to mulch it and put compost in it so that the dirt, the soil can regenerate, and that when a year comes that I do want to plant flowers, the flowers would grow successfully. So I have many wildflowers coming up, so this will look very different, and I will show you at a later time. So let's go to the park and let's get some wonderful ideas at the park. Some wonderful ideas. So let's go. And here we are at the park. So I don't know if I'm silent, if you could hear nature, but the breeze is blowing through the leaves and there are birds chirping, and it's so refreshing. It feels so good. And if you see behind me, you see the beautiful bushes. I know these are some kind of lily, but I forgot what these are called. I'm gonna get better at knowing the names, just you watch. That's one thing about life. Life is about living and learning. So as long as you're willing to learn, you will have the opportunity to always grow. And that is for sure. So let me show you this beautiful view of the trees. Do you see how the trees are blowing all the way up top? Those trees right there. Look at the wind blowing the trees. Don't the leaves look like they're waving and saying, hi, I'm here, we're here. Have you guys ever seen Horton Hears a Who, where the little specks inside the flowers, we're saying, we're here, we're here. And that's what nature is saying, we're here. And guess what? You know, we came from nature. We came from this soil, not this soil, but you know. So let's journey and go through the park and see what things can inspire us to create in our own personal garden at home and in our hearts. So guess what? This was in my hair. Guess what that means? I'm one with nature. So I wanted to show you guys something while we're at the park. So this is my little treasure chest, and inside of it I have little flowers that I pressed, and this one came from something I forgot, but as you can see there's a lot of flowers still on it. There's even a bulb that didn't bloom on it, so you see how artsy that is. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to decorate with this at a later time. And I also have another one, and you see I pressed it too long to where the color came out, but that's okay because you can put the color back in, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that at a later time. And then I have some other ones right here that I just pressed, and I'm so happy that when I pressed it, I didn't press it until the color came out. So we can use these for so many things. And as you can see, the decorations on the treasure chest is like little sticky things that was probably decoupage on here, but I'm going to show how we can do this with flowers that have been pressed. So these are the kinds of things that you can do. Say you're at the park and you see something that's inspirational, like, I don't know, just like this right here, right? You can take this and you could decide, oh, I'm going to draw a picture of this just by looking at creation. And there's nothing new under the sun, so we're always learning from creation. So let's go and let's continue to explore. And I hope you could hear the birds. They are chirping and they're so happy. And look at this plant right here. I don't know what this is, I'm not sure, but it is beautiful. Wow. And then, as you can see here, this backdrop of the rocks is something that you can easily create at your own home. I've done something similar to this before, where you just stack them up and you take cement and rock and lay them, and you can have a backdrop with your flowers and things like this. So this is very creative and inspiring to me, this atmosphere. You know, again, I told you before, I like atmospheres where the plants and things like that are planted in a way to where it feels like it's hugging me, like it's an encampment. You tell me, what is it that you like? What type of atmosphere would you like to create, or have you created at your own home, in your own garden? And what are some things that you would like going forward to make you feel the happiness that you are achieving or have achieved at your own home? So I love this right here, how this flows overhead, especially if it's the kind of tree where bugs are not all like super attracted to it, and then the bugs is falling in my face and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't like you anymore, which I can't see myself saying that to a plant. I don't care. So I love all plants. There are some that are ugly to me, but I still love them just the same. So, so let's go down here. Come on, come on. And again, there's not a lot of people here today because it is gloomy, it is rainy, and you know, some people would say it's ugly outside, but not me. I don't think it's ugly. I think it's beautiful. It's showing all different forms of creation and how you can enjoy it by bringing yourself and your enthusiasm and your appreciation for all that life gives you naturally. So I'm going to do that one more time because that twirl was fun. Woo! So come on. Oh, here's some catnip. Now, wait a minute. I don't know if it's called catnip. It's called something mint. I forgot, but you know it smells delicious. Has such a wonderful fragrant smell, and the color is so vibrant and so pretty, and look how it flows in the wind. So I don't know if I would like this in my garden. I actually had one that I grew last year, and the structure of the way that it grows, I like the fact that it smells so delicious. I try to get as many plants as I can that have fragrance. I'm more of a fragrant girl as it pertains to plants, and the more I can get to have fragrance is the better, of course. So the fragrance on this flower or on this plant is very potent, especially the more you have in your garden. But I'm still trying to figure out where I would place them and how. And I know that I will figure it out. And as soon as I figure it out how to place these with other plants to fit the style that is appealing to me, then I'm going to go for these plants again. So I would love to see if you have these in your garden. How do you have them placed? Is your style more modern? Is it more what? What is it? And show ones that your garden is, if you have these plants and the way you have them placed. So thank you for that. And wow, look at this. I love this ensemble and the way that they have the this color tree with the colors down here on the ground. It's very flowy. It flows very well together. So this idea gives me a good idea to have overhead that's different colors along with the hue of colors that's down below. And that makes it feel as though it's more of an enclosure, that there's more plants than maybe there actually is, because you have different colors popping off in different locations. Pop, pop, pop. So that's nice. And let's be spontaneous. And you want to watch me run? Alrighty, here we go. Across the field we go to this beautiful location over here. Whee! Hi! Oh my gosh, look at this area. This is really enchanting. Oh, let's take a look at that. Get a good look at that. Oh, and it has a waterfall, and it sounds so pretty. Oh, wow. This is gorgeous. I love this. And this is what I am looking towards. Actually, let me tell you guys a real quick story. So I literally have a neighbor that lives like a couple of streets over, and they told me that they would be willing to give us their pond that they have their koi fish in. And so let's see if they actually hold to their word. That would be so great. Like, I have like a motor inside of a pot, and I have like a little water coming out of that, and the birds like it. And I'll show you that as well at a later time. But it's really nice to have. I'm grateful for what I have, and I would like to get something like this because water and the sound of water is so tranquil. To be able to be out in your garden, in your backyard, in your front yard, and to have a waterfall, and to hear the water, and to feel the rain like I'm feeling right now, drizzling down on me, and be around beautiful plants with all of the color. It's just, I mean, what else can you ask for? To me, this is better than liquor. Better than liquor. Better than liquor. Better than liquor. So, wow, this is wonderful. And look, we're not the only ones enjoying this. So, let's go through here. Oh my gosh. This looks like the Secret Garden. Have you guys ever read the book, The Secret Garden? The book prompted me to look at the movie. And if you ask me, the book is better than a movie, but who's asking, right? So, let's come. The secret, oh no. The Secret Garden has been taped off. Oh no. What if the flower bandit was trying to get some flowers? I wonder, did they have a flower bandit and they had to tape it off? You can see I have an imagination like a child, and that's okay. Look, it's so pretty. Pan of pie. Look. Okay, so we were here for inspiration as well as enjoyment. Who says we can't have both? Inspiration and enjoyment? Well, that is something to truly be grateful for. So, look at the shade. These are clearly shade-loving plants. So, let me tell you, I actually got this idea to have shade-loving plants because I have an area of my home where we have a big, huge, I think it's a maple tree, and it is beautiful. And I'll show you at another time. And I had to learn because, of course, that area is truly shaded because of that massive tree that is also covered in vine. And I finally learned how and what plants that I can grow under the shade-loving tree. And also, I have potted plants under there because we have some pipelines up under there. And so I had to work around the tree. I had to work around the pipeline to see how can I get plants to grow over here, because I refused to have a barren location. That's so boring. I couldn't take that. So I finally figured it out Thank you so much. And I will show you that as well. So this is, it feels so good to be in this atmosphere right now, in the midst of all of these trees and the plants that they have that are growing successfully. Because there was a time that when I came here and I saw this, I was struggling with how to use this at my home under my shade loving tree. So now that I have been successful at doing that, being under here just feels like I have so much more of a connection to this because I was able to achieve some of this myself at my home. So this is what we want to do when we come to the park. We want to look around and really engage with nature so that nature can teach us what we can do at our own home. So you see these kinds of plants under the trees. They're bountiful, luscious. So this is what you can do instead of feeling defeated if you have an area that's completely shaded. Well, this clearly lets you know you are not in a defeated position. There are ferns back here. And there are so many other plants that actually grow flowers as well. So look at these flowers. I apologize that I don't know the names, but look at these trees, and look how bountiful the hostas. I have hostas at my home up against my fence. I'll show you that at another time. It was as if nothing could grow there, and now I have hostas growing there, and I have other plants that have beautiful orchid looking flowers growing on them. So see, it's all we have to do is not give up. We just have to keep trying at our passions and never give up in our passions. And so again, this is Keys Garden Cafe, and I am so happy that I was able to spend this time with you. And we're looking at, look, he's asking to marry her. Wow. Turn back. How beautiful is that? Do you see what life offers? So many blessings, and I'm glad that we were able to share them together. Until next time, continue gardening from your heart and your soul. Peace.